Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Rob Doherty from White Wizard Games, and we're talking about Hero Realms, co-designed with Darwin Castle, which launched on Kickstarter the day before Origins. And
that is our we're about 190,000, I think. But we it's a fine tradition we have of launching a Kickstarter right before Origins.
Okay, that's right. Which now, it's kind of amazing because I got the notice about, this is going to be launching soon. I looked at the first hour or so, it was like $5,000. And then I looked again, and it was $130,000 like within a day.
Yeah,
it's
so we've
got a broad base of support.
Yeah, we have
here.
a lot of great existing fans of our games. We have a newsletter that we send out to our to subscribers, which we don't spam people with. We only do it when we have news every month or two. So we send out an email to everybody. We put an ad in the Star Realms app, and it did a great job of communicating to our hardcore fans very quickly. So that was great. We got it's really nice to know that the game is funded and it's definitely happening. So that's that was really cool.
So what was the goal initially when you were doing this? So you have a huge number of fans for Star Realms.
So when we started out, we had we had Star Realms, hugely successful. People love it, but there are a lot of fans of the fantasy genre out there, and fans of the science fiction genre as well. A question we got from day one with Star Realms, it was, this is awesome. I want a fantasy version. Are you guys going to do a fantasy version of this game? Okay. And so this thought was in our head for a long time of it would be cool to do a fantasy version. And then there's the question of what does that mean from a game design and gameplay standpoint?
Right.
What cool things we can
swapping in photos and titles.
Exactly. So I mean, obviously you could just do a reskin and and literally swap card for card, and but we didn't want to do that, and we wanted to give people gameplay they were familiar with, so a Star Realms player would be able to look at it, understand it, pick it up super fast. But we wanted to give them a new play experience with the base deck. But there was all kinds of other cool stuff that we wanted to do. So what we ended up deciding to do was putting the base game play in a small box similar to Star Realms. It's a little bit bigger and it's a higher quality box, and it can support actually 4 players out of the one box instead of just 2. But the play in that is very much like Star Realms. You've got new art, new factions, some new mechanics, and a different pacing to the game. So it still feels fresh to a existing Star Realms player, but a Star Realms player will look at it and be able to pick it up within like a minute. It's very fast and very easy. And then
I would say interject there for those who don't know Star Realms. It's a deck building game. Yep. You have money and you have power, strength?
Combat, exactly.
Combat.
And so it's a deck builder, so you start with a 10-card starting deck, and this game, like Star Realms, is incredibly easy for a new player to pick up. It's deck building boiled down to the sort of its core elements, and so it's there's not a lot of additional rules. You read what the cards say, and you can play all the cards in your hand, spend all your money to buy stuff, spend your combat to attack your opponent or their stuff, and you can learn it quick. It plays really fun, and it's a great game to play with your non-gamer friends. So they can sort of casual players can pick it up very quickly. Same thing is true with Hero Realms. So your starting deck contains 7 of these gold cards. When you play them, you get 1 gold. The cost to buy a card is in its upper right-hand corner. You have 1 ruby, and this gives you 2 gold. So you can have a little more variance in how much gold you have available in your starting draws. There's 1 dagger in the deck, which gives you combat, and then 1 short sword that gives you 2 combat. Combat is used to attack your opponent. You start with a score of 50 health. If you can get your opponent's health down to 0, they're eliminated from the game. If you're playing a 2-player game, that means you win. When you buy a card, it goes straight to your discard pile. There are 2 types of cards in Hero Realms, just like in Star Realms. In Hero Realms, there are these action or event cards, and when you play these, you do what they say on them. End of the turn, they go to your discard pile. So these cards work like a ship in Star Realms. And then there are champions. Champions have a little shield on the bottom of them. There are guards. Guards have a black shield with the word guard over them. They protect you and your regular champion, so your you and your regular champions can't be attacked while you have a guard in play. Works like an outpost in Star Realms. And then you have regular champions which have a silver shield. Your opponent can choose whether or not to attack those. In Hero Realms, the champions tend to have a expend ability. So they have this little sideways arrow, and this is basically the thing the hero can do for the turn. The way you use them, you take the card in play and you turn it sideways to indicate it's used, and you do what it says after it. So for example, the Cult Priest either gives you a gold or a combat. And while he's sideways, that shows that he's used. You can't use him again. There are also ally abilities and scrap abilities in Hero Realms, just like in Star Realms. Now, each faction is good at different things. The yellow is the Empire. They specialize in, they have a highly trained military. They specialize in working well with large groups of troops and maximizing the effectiveness of their troops. So a lot of the champion cards and event cards in the Empire will get better if you have more guys in play. Now the ratios of the decks are different than they are in Star Realms. So there is a larger quantity of permanents, the champions, than there are in Star Realms. So it's easier to get more guys in play when playing Hero Realms. And the Empire loves having guys out, and cards will get better when they do it. They also have the ability to make your guys more efficient. So you'll notice this ally ability says prepare a champion. So if you can trigger the ally ability on domination, you could take a champion you've already used that turn. Let's say you've used your Man-at-Arms, gotten your 2 combat plus an additional combat for each other guard you control, and then you activate this ally ability, you can prepare him, and then you can use him again. Then normally at the end of your turn, when you are drawing your new 5-card hand and taking all your event cards in play and putting them into your discard pile, you would also prepare all your champions so they're ready to use on the next turn. The Imperials are good at health gain and working with large groups of units. The wild cards are good at forcing your opponent to discard, cycling through your own cards with draw and discard effects, and they can also generate very large amounts of combat. The Guild this is the organized crime faction. They're good at generating large amounts of trade. They're good at acquiring things quickly, so they can get things directly into your hand or on top of your deck. And they're also good at eliminating threats, so they can kill a champion in play without using combat frequently through stealth and assassination. So for example, this death threat has a ally ability of stun target champion, which would be similar to destroying a base in Star Realms. And then the cult is good at thinning cards from your deck. So the Necros cult can you can sacrifice cards, which is like scrapping. So you can thin stuff out of your deck. So that's the base game, and in the base game, the power curve is a little bit faster than in Star Realms, and also your starting deck is a little more amped up in that you've got the ruby and the short sword. So it'll provide a little bit quicker games than Star Realms does. Now we have a bunch of cool add-ons, cool things we wanted to do with this, with the fantasy genre with deck building.
So that came out of what you want to do to be different in terms of actually building up this world.
Exactly. So we've got character packs. So you can play as a fighter, a warrior, a wizard, a thief, or a ranger. And when you're playing as one of these classes, you have a specific starting deck, which is different from the generic one. You'll have special cards in your deck, which only that class has. You also have a different starting health score, and you have different special ability cards. So you'll have cards that start and play face up. Each class has a minor special ability and a major special ability card. For example, the Thief has a once per turn ability to pickpocket. She can pay 2 gold to force her opponent to discard a card while she gains health. And a once per game heist ability. The heist can only be used on the 3rd turn or later, and if the thief does a heist, she's able to purchase a card from her opponent's discard pile as if it were in the trade row. So literally stealing it from them, for the rest of the game. And each class has different special abilities, a minor one and a major one, which are all very powerful but unique and different for that class. Playing the different, so you can play the different classes against each other in heads-up battles, or you can team up with your friends and form an adventuring party and take on various missions, and that comes in our campaign starter deck. So our plan is to release these campaign decks, which will be similar to modules in a role-playing game. So they'll have a storyline, they'll have an adventure which the players will go through with several parts of the story, and if you are able to beat the mission, then all the players gain experience points. And between sessions, you can spend your experience points to improve your character and customize them. So there will be, in the campaign starter deck and in future campaign decks, there will be skills and gear that you can buy for your character. And so some of these will be cards that'll start and play for you at the beginning of the game. Some will be cards that you'll be adding to your starting deck. Some will be cards that you'll exchange cards from your starting deck with, and so your character will become more powerful as you spend experience.
Ramping up for a later mission.
And ramping up for more powerful missions. And then you can also take your these more powerful characters and you can battle them against each other in like arena-style combat. So basically, you could be like, hey, you've got a 12-point fighter, I've got a 15-point mage, let's battle. And so you can play those against each other in PvP fights as well if you wanted to. And then we also have boss decks. These are super powerful monsters, so we've got like a dragon and a lich. And the idea is one player plays the boss deck and they take on a whole group of their friends playing the regular character decks. You'll also be able to use the boss decks as part of the campaign, automated against you and your friends as an additional campaign mission. And so we have this whole wide world of stuff we want to do. And when you put it all together, what you end up with is a PvP or solitaire or cooperative leveling campaigning deck building game. So taking the best elements of RPG and deck building and mashing them together.
That is not a quick summary.
No, that is a beast. Yeah. So
and
that's why we've compartmentalized that into various expansions. So
because effectively you could get just the Phantasy Star Realms and just be like,
so basically some people love the idea of the campaigning stuff. Other people are like, why would I want to do anything but PvP battles? Like I don't understand. So what we've done is we've taken it and we put it into pieces. And so if you want to just have the base game and get hours and hours and hours of fun playing a fantasy style Star Realms game, you can buy just the base game. $19.99 comes with four decks, so you can play heads-up games or the same multiplayer formats you can play with Star Realms just in that box. You can stop there and that's awesome, I'm good. Or if you want the character packs for PvP, you could add in the character packs. Or if you want the boss decks to play raid style one versus several, you could add that. And if you want the full campaigning experience, you can get all the pieces, including the campaign deck, and then you can have that full adventure deck building game experience. So that's
with others to come down the road, I'm sure.
Of course, with more, and obviously there'll be more content in all the areas. So eventually there'll be more character packs to choose from, more expansions with base deck cards, and then of course more campaigns so that players can continue the adventure and the storyline, and you can a la carte and figure out what things you want and get just those, or you can pick up the whole line. And even if you're getting everything, it's a huge amount of game content, and we tried to keep the prices reasonable, so it would be the everything package on the Kickstarter is $72, including the year one promo cards and of course all the stretch goals that get unlocked. So.
Okay. I don't know if I had anything else to ask. It's mostly, yes, it's definitely, like Star Realms started very small.
Yes.
It's just tiny box, and that was it. And it sort of has grown. You keep adding little bits and pieces.
And the great thing about deck builders is they're customizable. They're for the player to play, and people have done a lot of different things with Star Realms. Some people like to have the different things we've made separate, and they'll have like the base game and Crisis expansion, and then they'll have their Colony War set, and they keep it separate. Other people like to get everything and put it all together. Other people are building their own custom version, like, for one cost Trade Federation, I want to use this card, not that card, and they make their own decks, and it's all good. Like any of those combinations are super fun ways to play, and we're looking to create the same kind of flexibility in Hero Realms, but of course with more ways to play.
Okay. Well, also, you do still have more coming from Star Realms?
Yes, we've got a new expansion coming out that we're Star Realms United, which we're very excited about. It's like the Crisis set in that it's 4 different 12-card packs. Right. It'll actually be 13 cards because there'll be a rules card in each pack. And United will feature multi-faction ships and bases. So you might have a ship that's both Blob and Machine Cult, and there's some really cool like hybrid ship and base art that we have for that. And these multi-faction ships and bases, when you play them, they will trigger allies from both of their factions, and some of them will have ally abilities from one or the other faction on it, or sometimes a combo ally ability that can be triggered by either faction. So those cards are very cool for helping your deck synergy, making your combos easier to pull off and such. Right. So those are a lot of fun. There's going to be new and more powerful heroes in that set, which allow you to which give you an ability when you purchase them, and also another ability when you scrap them. And they come, like the heroes from Crisis, they do come directly into play when you purchase them. So those heroes in that set are more expensive and more powerful. And then we also have a new type of card we're really excited about called the Mission card. And the missions, so there's 12 different missions. Before you play, you shuffle them up. You deal 3 down, face down to each player. You take a look at your missions, and if the missions will have a prerequisite on them, what you need to complete them. And if you do that during a turn, you can reveal the mission and get a reward. The rewards can give you powerful boosts. And if you can reveal all 3 of your mission cards during the course of the game, you win. So it's an alternate victory condition. So that can create really cool game situations where you're being beaten down by your opponent, you're almost dead, but you've got 2 of your missions completed, and you're racing to try and get your 3rd mission complete before they push you off the table. Those are super fun as well, and that's coming this fall. And of course, we have on the digital side, we have the Crisis Heroes expansion. It's going to be launching soon, and like all of our expansions on the digital side, it'll come with new missions for the campaign in there. So so we're really excited about the Star Realms stuff. And as we widen our plate, adding more games, we are not taking our eye off the Star Realms ball. We definitely have cool stuff in the pipeline, both digitally and physically on the Star Realms side. And then of course we have the Epic card game, and for that we have you get a trading card game style experience in a little box. And with the trading card game style experience, we also wanted to provide the high-end organized play experience for competitive players. And we have a $100,000 championship for Epic coming up in November near Boston. 64 players will be invited to it. We're having qualifiers here at Origins. We're having qualifiers at Gen Con. And people can get a qualifier in their local game store by going to our website, contacting events, and you just order a tournament kit from your local distributor, run a casual event, take pictures of it, send the pictures into our organized play department along with a report of the event, and we will choose from stores that have done that and give out qualifiers, so stores can run those those casual events in June or July, and apply for qualifiers for August and the early fall, and then we have the big championship in November. So we've got exciting things going on all of our game fronts.
It's very different experiences based on what people want. I mean,
The
high-end tournament is definitely not for everyone.
And we also have for Epic and for Star Realms, we have casual support as well, game day packs and tournament kits, which stores can order. They're very inexpensive for the stores. They come with promo cards you don't get in the other packs, and things like playmats and deck boxes, and to support casual game nights or very casual tournaments as well. So we have the focus on both the casual end and the competitive end of play.
Okay. All right. So a lot of stuff.
Awesome.
Going on for those three worlds here.
Yeah.
And then here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And I guess that's everything.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks.